Great. Kristen Clark here with PopCultureMadness.com, and we are on the bus with Trivium. Could you introduce yourselves to our site visitors?
I am Paolo. I play bass.
Great. Thank you. So how are you enjoying Trespass America Festival? What does it mean for you guys to be part of a festival like this one?
Well, like last night, hanging out with Ivan, was just saying, we really appreciated that they would have us out on this tour. We played to a lot of new people, and anytime you can get in front of a crowd that's 50 to 70% new, that's always really, really good for you, and this is all we have. We're not a radio band, we make our new fans on tour, and we're just thankful to be out here and doing this. It's been a really fun time for us.
So which city has been the craziest fans thus far?
Well, the craziest show wasn't actually a Trespass America show. It was Montreal. It was a heavy MTL, but all the bands on the bill played the festival. Wow. I think some of the craziest shows, though, have been like Boston was crazy. There was a couple in Texas that were pretty mental, but it's been consistently really good. Even if it starts off a little bit kind of like, all right, this crowd doesn't know who we are, by third, fourth song, it's usually pretty rowdy.
That's awesome. I love the diversity of this festival, too. It's a little bit of everything. You've got some bands that have had radio success, some that haven't had as much radio success. It seems like everybody does pretty well on satellite radio, though.
Yeah, that's been a big thing for us. The Sirius XM has definitely pumped not only some of the singles, but some of our even heavier stuff, and they've always been, I guess, big backers of Trivium and heavy music in general. And it's good to have a diverse bill. Everyone can really have a chance to stand out. I think it's giving these new audiences a lot of different things to kind of take in, and I think when they leave these shows, they'll remember the individuality of each band, as opposed to just 10 bands sounding the same.
Oh, exactly. And In Waves came out last year. Was it last year? It was like last August. So, are you guys currently working on any new material? What I love so much is that you guys are not afraid to be experimental, and that's awesome.
Yeah, we have about 10 to 12 demos that we've been working on for the last few months, and we're kind of setting up our production schedule for the next album early next year. So it's all kind of starting to happen. Now it's real, like, all right, we're going to do the record from this month to this month, and we're just trying to get all the ideas and get everything prepared before we hit Europe, which is in October. And we're going to have to do kind of double duty. We have to rehearse during the day, jam all the new material, and then at night do the headlining set. So it's going to be a lot of work, but once that tour is done, we get November, December off totally. So, well, half of November, all of December off, and we're looking forward to that.
Well, that'll be a little bit of R&R for you guys.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
I'm sure it's much needed after all this touring.
Very much needed.
So, how do you feel, being that you guys formed, 99, and you've kind of watched this musical landscape, grow and change, how do you feel about the current state of rock and metal music?
We've been lucky that we've become a band that can tour around the world, and, the music industry is definitely not the only industry that's kind of suffered from, what's happened worldwide with the economy, and there's no one that's really kind of recession proof, I guess, and this industry has been taking a beating for a long time, just from first the piracy thing, and now people just don't want to spend $150 at a concert when they could be buying something that they really need. Not saying that music isn't something you need in your life. I definitely think it is, but sometimes you got to make those tough choices of going to see your favorite band, or are you going to buy groceries that week? Right. So it's definitely changing, but it's one of those things that people need music in their life. People are still coming to shows. I don't think rock and heavy music's dead. I think these shows are definitely a good indication that it's still very relevant and still alive and well, whether there's a radio station in a town that even plays heavier stuff or not, people discover it. And that's, to me, the beauty of new things like Spotify and programs where you can stream anything, it's at your fingertips, and it's all about, I guess, just how people can discover through those things that will really, I guess, get people back into music. And you can't beat, I think Spotify's amazing. You can't beat paying $10 a month.
It's addictive.
It's, I mean, it's like Matt was saying, it kind of almost made him like more passionate about music again, because it was just like, wow, this is like being in a toy store, man. You got every album you've ever listened to through your whole life, and you can kind of like go back. Like the other day I was listening to like so much stuff from the 90s that I haven't heard in years. There's albums that are long gone and scratched and don't work in the CD player anymore, and it's badass.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, so many of those albums too you can't find anywhere else. So it's not like you can go buy another copy. I mean, you can
see a lot of good rarities on Spotify.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, anybody that wants to say now that like, oh, like rock is dead, I'm like, have you freaking looked at a rock show lately? Yeah. Because that is like what's touring, and there are like hundreds and hundreds of fans like coming out to these things.
It's a different experience, and I mean, yes, there's big things like the whole electronic dance music scene, which is doing really good business, obviously, but rock music is the only thing, in my opinion, that tours 360 days a year. You get like no breaks. You get a few days off to fly somewhere else and start another tour. And I don't know, it's just, you gotta really hit it hard now. The bands that tour the hardest and the smartest are the ones that seem to be getting ahead. And for us, this album, it's all been about touring outside of the box and doing really diverse tours. We did Asking Alexandria, Dream Theater, touring with Five Finger, and just this diverse bill in general, playing radio festivals, touring with our friends in Flames, doing Mayhem Festival. It's been a very interesting year because we really got to play in front of people that genuinely had never heard of us before. And after 7 years, that's exciting that there's still this many people to get in front of and kind of have a clean slate to show all your music's new, set 5 albums in, and we can play anything off any of those albums, and it's a new experience for that person seeing us.
Absolutely. It's great to always open people's eyes to stuff that they might not have given a chance before. So it's so important. So after Trespass, the immediate plans are you get some vacation, some more touring.
We go to South America, and then we go to UK and Europe, and we will be home after that.
Awesome. So if you were not pursuing music right now, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
It's hard to say. I lucked out. I was pretty much going to be starting college right away after high school, and things just worked out that I became part of Trivium, tried it out, and I've been here ever since. So I don't know, hopefully I would have still been playing music, but it's kind of one of those things that I'm glad I don't have to know what I would have been doing. I just want to keep doing this. This is what I live for, and it makes being away from family and friends at home worth it, coming out here and playing and writing music and just seeing that people enjoy what we do.
Oh, of course. So I think oftentimes the fans become like kind of that makeshift family on the road, and being like very embracing with that. We've
made a lot of friends and, almost like family members now on tour, people that we've been seeing for the last 7 years that, I would consider just as much a part of our family as any of our immediate family, people that have, from the label to just people that started seeing us back on our first couple van tours that continue to come out, and it's cool to just see that there's people out there you can make, I guess, lifelong relationships with people, and it makes touring a lot easier when you get out there and you can have friends come out to each city and show you around, take you out and do stuff, so you're not just like, man, I'm seeing the same venues, the same like 4 walls every day. Yeah, that you got to get out and experience the world. Yeah, definitely.
So, being that we're a pop culture based site, is we're always immersed in a lot of pop culture. Is there anything that you currently can't get enough of?
Just pop culture wise, Trying to think here.
It's so vast. I know. It's like
That yeah, it's crazy. It's like when something's that general, I guess. You know what though? Like sometimes I feel a little disconnected from a lot of that stuff. You know, we have satellite on the bus, but I find myself not watching TV as much, and I kind of just prefer to not be online when I'm out on tour as much. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely be on Twitter and Facebook, like answering fans stuff, and you'll catch stuff here and there, but I don't know. I just kind of enjoy not being disconnected from that when I can. But
that's understandable. I mean, also, hey, the Spotify thing's really big too.
Yeah.
So
I guess that would be the biggest pop culture thing. Usually, anything that involves music is what I generally gravitate towards. I'm not really, I don't know. TV is not my thing. I have a couple shows that I like here and there, but I'm not like a person that watches like gossip type things that much.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I'm sick of that reality TV trend too. So.
I think it's definitely had its day, and it would be nice if music comes back to MTV, and maybe Headbangers Ball even.
I wish.
That'd be pretty nice, but we'll see.
I know. I got my fingers crossed too. I said they might as well call it media TV versus some.
They brought Beavis and Butthead back, so I'm kind of hoping, I was kind of hoping they would be a little bit more like the original Beavis and Butthead and be a little bit more about the music, but I guess it's kind of cool it's back. It's kind of weird they're on Twitter, though. That's kind of bizarre to me.
I didn't know that,
Yeah,
but
Beavis
now
and
you.
Butthead on there. I'm just like, I don't know, this is weird. I don't know. It's just from another era, so it's kind of funny to see something like that on something like Twitter or Facebook. You're like, Beavis and Butthead on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's kind of
totally didn't exist then. So.
little bizarre.
Yeah, it's different.
Talking about reality stars. I'm like, all right, it's kind of weird.
That's crazy. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes out to speak with me. Is there any, final comments you'd like to share with fans or site visitors?
I guess to fans, thank you guys for the last year. We haven't played a lot of headlining shows here in the States, and thank you to everyone that's come out to, the 5 or 6 tours that we've done, bared with us with 35-minute, 40-minute sets. It was definitely all for a good cause, getting new fans, and we're going to be headlining a lot more on the next album, and we're going to do our best to top what we've done, so thank you guys very much.
That's great. We certainly look forward to it, so thank you so much.